Hello, and welcome to Art 111 Two-Dimensional Design. My name is Enzina Murari, and I'll be your professor this semester as we move through the principle and elements of two-dimensional design. So this is a really short video that introduces and welcomes you to the course. We're going to go over the course objectives, overview our course platform, which is Blackboard. This is a distance, no set time course, which means we don't have any live lectures. Everything is pre-populated into Blackboard. And you go through the course following the weekly modules and complete the assignments and requirements at your own pace, as long as you're being mindful of the submission deadlines. We'll also introduce the course schedule and look at how the course is designed for you this semester. So the course objectives and rules are to develop the ability to create and critique your own artwork and the artwork of others, to understand the fundamental elements and processes of two-dimensional design. So that applies across all 2D media, from drawing to digital design. It's also to demonstrate an understanding of design through the techniques of unity, emphasis and focal point, scale and proportion, balance and rhythm, and to understand the importance of some elements like shape, texture, motion, value, and color when used across two-dimensional design mediums. Now, this is a survey course, so we don't specifically focusing on developing the skill sets associated with different media. For example, we don't spend a lot of time developing drawing skills or developing digital skills, but we look at the foundational principles and elements that are used across all of those mediums to improve your design language and to improve how you look at compositional design. In that way, we're going to learn the basic vocabulary of design and develop an understanding of the value and function of the critique process. We do critique each other's work in this course, and although we can't do that in a live setting, we will use Flickr as our platform for critique. If you don't have a Flickr account set up, there is a link and some instructions to do that on Blackboard. And we'll use it just like any other social media platform where I post images of your work, and then you each provide constructive, positive, and helpful critique on each other's work. We'll talk a little bit more about Flickr, so you have a clear understanding of how that is used and what my expectations are. So the course structure, again, is self-guided and is organized through pre-recorded lectures, bi-weekly discussions, chapter readings and quizzes, and tasks. We have 4 larger design projects this semester and 1 final project. We don't have a midterm. We don't have any exams. All assignments and projects are based on the principles and elements of design and are intended to reflect your understanding of the design principles. So I want to see what you've learned of the different foundational principles and elements and how you can apply that as you're working on compositional design, whether it be through analog media or digital media. Each design project will have guidelines on the media you can use and what you are expected to use. Some are more liberal and you could use any two-dimensional process you would like, and some are more specific where I want you to focus on developing a specific type of two-dimensional media. Now, again, this is a no set time remote course. So you can take it wherever you are in the world, but we don't meet face to face. So it's really important that you manage your own time and are comfortable with an online digital course. We use a homework platform that can be a little bit confusing. So it's an ebook. The ebook is where you will also take the chapter quizzes from. So there's a link on Blackboard that takes you straight to the ebook, and you take the quizzes directly from the ebook. All other assignments, the projects, the discussion boards, are done on Blackboard. So we're kind of balancing a couple of different platforms, but it's all linked from Blackboard itself. I also don't have an on-site office at UAA. So my office hours are virtual and through Zoom. They're by appointment only. So I don't hold a regular Zoom office hour window that you can log into, but you do need to set that up in advance by sending me an email. My email is vjmarari@alaska.edu, and you can just shoot me an email and let me know you'd like to set up a Zoom call. We can go over any of the projects that you might be unfamiliar with. If you're having any issues navigating Blackboard, please let me know. We can hop on a Zoom call. Again, Blackboard is how we are navigating through this course. We're using Blackboard Ultra, which organizes all of our content through weekly learning modules. Each of these modules will open up to content. Some are within subfolders and some are directly linked. Now, in those learning modules, you will find links to discussion boards bi-weekly, to chapter readings and quizzes that takes you straight through to our ebook, which is Design Basics, and the quizzes associated with that. In those learning modules, you will also find instructions on the design projects. This semester we have 4 plus the final. Those folders will have an assignment sheet that gives you the instructions and guidelines on how to complete these projects and where to submit them. And there will be ongoing resources, extra credit as I added throughout the semester, and anything else that I want to draw your attention to. Now, this is a little bit hard to see, and I want to see if I can zoom in on it. No, it doesn't look like I can here, but I've just taken a screenshot here of Blackboard. Now you'll see I've circled a couple of different areas. On the top, you'll have your tabs. I have the tab open to course content. This is where those learning modules are going to be. For instance, the first is a quick link to the ebook. Once you've registered, this link will take you directly to the ebook if you want to get there fast. The second is the course introduction. It's where this video is going to be. It's going to be the information I want you to learn about before you start accessing the course. And then you'll see ongoing extra credit. I will build this as the semester goes. It's going to be empty for right now, but as we develop, if something happens that I think would be interesting for you to undertake as extra credit, or if something comes up throughout the semester, I'll be populating this. And I will indicate everything through announcements. There's also all things to access your ebook and homework platform. Again, we're using the Text Design Basics through MindTap, right? So when you click on this learning module, it's going to pull up all of the resources you need to register, learn how to access the book, link to the book chapters, and there take the quizzes. So this is taking you a little bit out of Blackboard, but you could go right back in. And then that bottom is the first example of the weekly learning modules. So this is our week 1. You're going to open this and you're going to open all of the folders and links associated in that learning module to complete the week tasks. I also encourage you, we're going to take a look at it in a moment, to download and print out the course schedule and outline so that you can make sure that you're not missing anything. Again, it's self-guided course. It's your responsibility to make sure you're hitting all of the targets and meeting all of your deadlines. So I would just print out the course schedule. I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Have it on your desk, pin it to your wall. Make sure it's pinned to your computer if you prefer things that way. And just make sure every week you're checking off the different tasks on the course schedule. If we go back up to that tiny print at the top, sorry I can't zoom in on this for you, you'll see the other tabs. The other primary tabs we'll be using this semester are announcements and discussion boards. You'll also be able to check and monitor your grades and any other items. But our primary tabs are content, course content, discussion, and announcements. Again, content, announcements, and discussions. So the way that we're doing our assignments is that we have biweekly discussion boards, we have chapter readings and quizzes associated to those chapters, and they're open books, so you can go back to the chapters as you're taking the quizzes. We have 4 design projects and a final. Now, the biggest chunk of your grade is your design projects, including the final, right? Those 5, and your quizzes. So they build up over time. You want to make sure that you're not missing those. There is going to be a weekly deadline, but I am flexible with submission. That weekly deadline is important because it shows up in your grade book that you have a deadline coming up. But I'm flexible about that. So if you miss it, don't make it a habit, but let me know and I can reopen that. Again, we don't have a midterm in this course. We don't have any exams and we don't have any tests. We just have those chapter quizzes. So there is a student success guide in Blackboard in your Getting Started. And I really want you to look through that because to be successful each week, you need to be engaged in the course. I want you to review your course content every week, to explore those weekly modules. I try to have all of those weekly modules populated at the beginning of the course, but there might be some later on in the semester that haven't been populated yet, but those will be populated over time. I want you to explore those weekly learning modules. Make sure you're checking your announcements several times throughout the week, just in case I want to bring something to your attention. Making sure you're looking over that course outline and schedule to make sure you're completing any required tasks. If I am updating the course schedule or correcting an error that might happen on a schedule as it does, I will make an announcement that the schedule has been updated. Now, the semester goes by fast and we have a lot of content to go through. Don't start off getting behind. Try to maintain a good structure and a good schedule to manage your time effectively and create a pattern for yourself so that you're hitting all of the deadlines. Most of our assignments, aside from the final project, most things are due by the Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Keep that in the back of your mind as you're planning out your weeks. But again, be mindful of those deadlines that will be on Blackboard in your learning modules and also on the course schedule outline. So this is just a screenshot of week 1 and the beginning of week 2. Week 2 carries on to this next page. So this is how our course schedule is laid out. And I really encourage you, again, print this out, have this on your desk, and make sure you're going through and checking things off. I know some folks are more of a tactile paper person and some benefit more from having that information on a screen. So here are some options for whichever way you learn best to make sure that you're managing your time effectively. Make sure you're going through the different tasks. Here we have for your first week, I want you to review the syllabus and supply list. I want you to review this course schedule that we're looking at briefly together. I want you to go through the Blackboard course layout and instructor walkthrough video, this welcome video, which you should be checking off that list. Start your discussion board topic for the week, which is a personal introduction, and then watch the recorded lecture on art and design. All of these things are going to be due at Sunday by 11:59 p.m. So I want to make sure every week you're checking in for what's happening the next week so you can get on top of it. Again, most assignments are going to be due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. unless it's communicated otherwise. The final project, because of finals week, does have different dates, but all of that will be announced to you with enough time so you can plan ahead. Now, once you've registered and successfully accessed Blackboard, I want you to continue with week 1 tasks. So if you don't have it already, make sure you create a Flickr account. You're going to need this not just for the final, you're going to need this for all of the 4 design projects and the final. Now, we don't start our first project until our 4th week, so you have some time, but get this off the list early. Just go ahead, go in there, create your Flickr account. Review the course syllabus in its entirety and let me know if you have any questions. Review the course outline that we just briefly looked at a screenshot for. This is what you're going to be looking at for all of your weekly assignments and tasks and to make sure you're meeting the course deadline. Review the course materials you're going to need and start to build your toolkit. I have guidelines in our course for a general toolkit that would be handy to have for any art course that you're taking, and then some things that you might want to build into that kit over time, depending on where your interests take you. So start with a basic kit and then build from there. Complete your personal introduction post and watch the recorded lecture on art and design. So some FAQs on the course. If you finish a week, can you hop to the next? You can, but I want you to keep in mind that you are still required to participate in those weekly tasks. And sometimes that's a discussion board that requires you not just to make an original post in response to the prompt, but to reply to at least 2 of your classmates' posts. We don't have the experience of being in a studio together and discussing things with each other, having that back and forth dialogue that really builds our critical thinking when it comes to art and art topics. So the discussion board is where we can create a kind of studio community. In addition to those Flickr critique galleries, this is where we can really engage back and forth with each other. So for discussion boards that happen about bi-weekly, you're making 1 original post, and then you're responding to at least 2 of your classmates. So you're all in this together. And if everybody waits to the last minute to do those, then people are going to be scrambling to make comments, and they're not going to be thoughtful or engaging, which I really want them to be. I want you to take this really seriously and really interact with each other here. So if you're skipping ahead to several weeks of learning modules, you're not going to experience that engagement, and you might miss some of those required replies, and then you'll lose points. So make sure you're doing week by week and being mindful of the weekly tasks. And some of the later semester folders might not be built yet, right? I might still be gathering information and building it depending on what's happening. And so if you skip too far ahead, you might miss some things that appear later. Can you skip ahead to a topic that seems more interesting to you? So I build each of these learning modules based first on the design principles and then the elements. And let's say you're more interested in color than you are perspective. Can you shift ahead? I really don't want you to, because these topics build upon each other's, and the design projects require you to use and integrate a few of the design principles and elements together. So don't skip ahead. Go step by step, chapter by chapter, week by week. If you're having trouble with Blackboard, there is a help feature on Blackboard. If you can't resolve that issue, you're going to have to contact UAA Tech Support. The number's here. You can also email them and put in a request for contact. Unfortunately, if it's a tech issue, I'm not going to be able to help you with that. If it's a layout, if it's a structure, if it's a content issue, please email me. I can absolutely help you. But if it's on the technical side, you're going to have to contact Blackboard technical support. If you're having an issue with MindTap or accessing the ebook, if it's a tech issue, you're going to have to contact Cengage, who is the program we're using. They're hosting the ebook. If it's a content issue, if it's a way of kind of navigating through Blackboard, the system, I can absolutely help. But if it's a tech issue, That's what tech support is for. Now, if you're having trouble understanding an assignment or you want to talk through your concept or your idea for a project, absolutely shoot me an email at bjmurari@alaska.edu. We'll set up a time, we'll go through it. It might take me a couple days to get back to you. I do my best, but sometimes it can take a couple of days. So don't wait until the last minute. Plan ahead. This is also true for weekends. If you contact me on a Friday, it might take me through Tuesday to get back to you. Or if you contact me on a Thursday, I operate business hours. So it's 9 to 5. I try my best to have good boundaries around that. So if you expect a reply on a Saturday or Sunday, it's going to take until the following week. So it does sometimes take me a couple of days to get back to you. Please don't wait to the last minute, and get ahead of some of the issues you might have. If you're not based in Alaska, you can absolutely take this course. Just be mindful of the time difference. Everything is due Alaska time, 11:59 p.m. So you can take it from anywhere. Just make sure you're following that time difference. Okay, some basic life supports here. Life can be difficult and challenging, and all of the responsibilities we have sometimes pile on each other and make things a little bit harder. And so UAA does have the care team, and the care team's purpose is to provide support to you or someone you know who might need a little bit extra help along the way to make it through the semester, to make it through whatever hard time they're experiencing. So if you or someone you know needs support, is distressed, or you're witnessing concerning behavior in yourself or someone else, please contact the care team. They're wonderful. They get back to you right away. And they're really there to support you. I may contact the care team as your professor if I'm noticing that you need some extra support, or you ask me to contact them on your behalf. There is a referral that you can fill out for classmates if they're in need of help as well. And so there's some information on the care team. It's alaska.uaa/care team. You can email them at care@uaa.alaska.edu or reach out to them at 786-6065. It's a really great resource to have, to just give you some extra help if you need it. We all need extra help sometimes. And of course, if it's an emergency, call 911. Disability Support Services is also another wonderful resource for students who have disabilities that may affect academic experience. If you need any kind of accommodation to support your disability, please contact Disability Support Services as soon as possible so they can get you in the system, contact your professors, and provide you with any type of support services you need to accommodate your disability and to ensure that you're having a great academic experience. They're in Rasmussen Hall if you want to go directly in, or you could call them at 786-4530 or ayDSS@uaa.alaska.edu. It's important to request these accommodations early enough so that DSS has adequate time to consider your request and get your professors looped in. And always, if you're not sure about any of these services and you just want to chat to someone about it, please let me know. I'm happy to hop on a call with you and go over the services that are available to you. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to go over with you today. I really am grateful that you've signed up for 2D Design and you're taking this course. Next, I want you to independently go through Blackboard and just get familiar with the course flow, get familiar with the areas that we're going to be looking at, the content, discussion boards, announcements. Open those learning modules just to get a sense of the flow and where things are going to be for this course. Once you do that, if anything's unclear, reach out to me at bjmurari, MARRARI, @alaska.edu, and we can go over anything that doesn't make sense. I wish you the best of luck this semester. I'm excited to get to know you and to get to know your work through this course. And be well, take care of yourself and each other. Have a wonderful semester.